All right.
Good morning, Neil here with the Off the Lip Radio Show, and I'm here this morning with my good friend Ricardo Urbina, and we'll chat with Ricardo because Ricardo's changed my life in the swimming pool, and he's changing a lot of people's lives in and out of the swimming pool, ocean, anything to do with water. This gentleman right here is going to really change people's lives, and we're going to chat about that this morning. So you want to talk about should we talk about the underwater, what do you want to call it? What do you do?
Yes, underwater training. Yeah.
Underwater training.
Yes, thanks. I really appreciate the opportunity to come and share a little bit of not only what we do, but also the experience that it's like to come and train with us. So I'm a freediver instructor, and recently not recently, but I've been working with the people from Quicksilver. I want to give them credit for giving the opportunity to use some pool to do some apnea training.
Yeah, apnea. That's what apnea. Now, what does apnea mean?
Apnea is basically holding your breath.
Yeah.
All right. And what we're doing is dynamic training underwater using weights, and these sorts of training can help you to improve your aerobic capacity, anaerobic capacity. Helps you to delay fatigue by making your body very efficient when it comes to like using the oxygen that you intake.
Yeah.
And of course, the applications are tremendous for any type of athletic activity, whether you play football, and I work with the NFL Combine, all the way to big wave surfers. Like a lot of the people that come to the class are into surfing Mavericks or some of the biggest waves in the world. So, and it works for anything in between. We have
so with the beauty of it, as you said, what I learned, you can use it for any sport.
Yes.
And when we do sports, we just breathe. We don't think about our breath.
Right.
We don't think about it. It just occurs.
Correct. And you know, you go farther from the pool because like the way we breathe have a lot to do with our balance, with the accuracy, whether we're throwing a ball or catching a ball. It also has to do with our ability to recover quickly, so we can recover and re-engage. So whether you're playing soccer, football, being very efficient with your breathing and understanding the biomechanics of your breathing allows you to become a better athlete.
I would think like a sport like American football, where it's off the line, quick stop, off the line, quick stop.
Correct.
One play after another, but it's done quickly.
Yes.
Soccer's just ongoing.
Yeah.
So they're two different sports, but the breath is so important, right?
Absolutely. Because you know, for example, in the case of American football, the biggest thing is like it requires massive muscle recruitment. So because it's very like uppers, recover quickly and go, and you only have 40 seconds, up to 40 seconds in between play. It makes it a sport very explosive. So having an anaerobic engine becomes extremely important, and to be able to recover quickly in between plays is the key to beat your opponent, all right, and to find mismatches.
Yeah.
In the case of soccer, where it's a little bit more aerobic, having a strong respiratory system where you can consistently recover as you move,
right,
becomes key too. Because you know, if you think about like, it's those minor explosive movement that you can do while you are already on the move that allows you to make a difference in between, whether it's like making a pass or kicking the ball a second or a millisecond like earlier, able to like pass or score a goal. So regardless of the sport, you have to find the proper application of breathing into that sport.
So let's talk about surfing for a second. The apnea training that you do in the pool here in SoCal is primarily for surfing. Primarily.
Yes, I mean, I think a good 70% of the people that comes are surfers.
Yeah.
Some are big wave surfer, and some are surfing enthusiasts that just want to find ways to become more comfortable in the water. Specifically now, there's no mystery. The winter's coming. Whether you are a beginner longboarder at the point, or whether you're trying to surf Mavericks, the next few months we're gonna get swells,
yeah.
and at some point you're gonna get caught in a situation where like you should be competent and comfortable being tossed around underwater. So
yeah.
our training definitely resembles a lot some of the circumstances and situations you will encounter in the ocean. So by making it something that you're comfortable with, or let's say like by becoming comfortable being uncomfortable, it will allow you to be more competent when you actually get in the water and
yeah.
feel safer and be calmer if you have to encounter a critical situation.
Yeah. Critical situations being held down, correct?
Correct. Yes.
And you, this your training helps you extend your ability to breathe.
Yes, and also recovery, because remember, like sometimes you can be, and especially in the winter, and we're not talking about anything big. You can on a day where it's like 6 to 8.
Yeah.
Right. You can get caught in the inside, and you might be gasping for air, and you still have a relatively short window to get on your board and paddle out, and you should be able to use your breath to recover quickly, and at the same time continue moving and continue the paddle so you can make it, past the break.
You see, surfing's become so popular now. It's,
Yes.
it's like quadrupled, or even it's grown so quickly. But I can imagine that 95% of the people who are surfing don't have any idea what's going on with their breath.
Correct.
Probably even more than 95%, I would imagine. No, you just buy the board, you buy your wax, you buy your wetsuit, and you go out. That's what's going on.
Correct.
There's been you don't think about being caught inside.
Yes.
I remember one time, a long time ago, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, how I was at 38, and it went from 3 feet to 10 feet, like that.
Right.
Yes, you can look at surf line and see what's going on, but it was an unusual day. It was a very unusual day, but I was caught.
Absolutely, and I think like part of like and of course I encourage people as many people who want to join the sport to do it. But part of the learning process is like understanding how the ocean works, and taking some time to not just simply like open Surfline and say, oh, fair to good or good, let's go.
Yeah.
But also understand what's happening throughout the day. What does the changing tide does, and also what's coming in. So a situation like you just mentioned, it happens more often than what you're thinking, especially in the winter month, where like, let's say after X hour, the period might increase drastically. So let's say it goes from like 12, 13 seconds to 16 or 17 seconds. That means that at some point or another during that day, things are going to change drastically. So, 1 minute you're in the water, the next one you're like completely going to get smashed for something that way beyond your pay grade, right?
Yeah.
And also with the tide, I think like to make another point with this, and I know the Coast Guard and lifeguards here in Santa Cruz struggle a lot during the winter with the king tide.
Yeah.
And a lot of people underestimating the effect that has on the ocean. So you see a lot of people that, especially on 38, the Hook, privates, they will go down during low tide, and they kind of like think they're going to be camping there for the day.
Yeah.
And
they have no exit strategy.
Yeah, and they don't think about it. And like the tide rises super, super fast. And when they realize they are caught where they cannot make it to the stairs, and they are struggling to to get out of there.
That day I spoke about, I was at 38th and I went out to Pleasure Point, but there's a gap between 38th and the point, right? But I get that gap, made it out there, but I ended up getting out of Capitola. Yeah. That was my only exit.
Absolutely.
The time went like this, and the Hook, no good. Private's no good.
Yep.
Capitola was it. Oh.
And it's a long way. You're looking at up to like a mile and a half stretch.
Yeah.
That when you're in conditions where you are stressed, you could potentially even panic, make it worse. It's one of those things that you don't want to experience. So
Yeah.
and it can be avoidable. So
Let's talk about your class. I've taken the class.
Sure.
I mean, I've taken the class, and it's I wouldn't say hard. It was very, very challenging.
yeah.
Right, but you can only do what you can do. But you see yourself, you can see yourself improve quickly. Talk about the class.
Awesome. Yeah, I love it. I mean, first of all, the class is for people of all levels. So, like we totally welcome anybody, whether you are a beginner a surfer or somebody that is just simply like never had experience anything like this, all the way to people that are more comfortable and experienced with these sorts of training. I think what you get to do, just like any training, is like, number one, you realize that you're able and you're capable to hold your breath for a lot longer than you think you can.
Because it's a mental thing.
It's very
so your
mental.
Class is 90% mental. I would imagine.
Absolutely, and I think like the more consistent you are with coming to the class. So I think if you give it a try for like, let's say 3 classes, you see major improvement in 3 classes. And part of what happened in your brain is neurological. You create path or unblock path where your mind realizes like, hey, I am more than physically capable of sustaining a little bit higher levels of CO2 in the blood, where I can hold my breath. I don't have to panic holding my breath underwater. That number two. Number two, it's like your body really learns to find that level of calmness when it's underwater. One thing that happened when you get your face wet underwater is that you kicked in the mammalian reflex, and that allows you to really lower your heart rate and calm yourself down a lot more than what you think. So until you don't experience that a few times, you don't realize that you do have that powerful tool in you.
Yeah.
And it's not until you expose yourself to this that you don't realize. And then, like, I think that the third part is, and where people kind of like, why they keep coming back, it's like they're having fun and they are getting fit very, very quickly. The second you start putting some work on your respiratory system by doing apnea, you will realize how quickly your body can get fit without not doing necessarily like a lot of really hard work.
Yeah.
Okay, so because it's very low impact, you're really not like muscularly like killing yourself out there, but you will get fit very, very quickly.
And you make yourself more confident as far as when you do go surfing, you have that confidence.
Yes.
You took the class, you know what you can do.
Yes.
And you know that the mind's telling you to stop, but the mind's also telling you that you can keep going.
Yes.
Depends where you want to take the mind to.
Absolutely. I especially with people that are new into surfing that come to the class, generally the feedback is like, oh man, like when they go back to the ocean, if you get tossed around, they're like, I just close my eyes, relax, and just think that I can hold my breath 25 meters or even more underwater when I'm in class. So they become very familiar to the sensation they get in the pool in a non-stressful environment, and then when they actually have to experience something like that in the ocean, they are flat out comfortable with what they're doing.
Yeah. It's very challenging. It's a very challenging class.
Yeah.
But you I felt more confident when I went out there in the bigger waves.
Totally.
Even though, but it depends. Doesn't matter what age you are. So you end up with more. You have more confidence.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, obviously here the class we target for people over the age of 14. So we do have kids that come to our classes relatively frequent. But to give you an example, our program, we also work with schools.
Yeah.
And we start with our pool program at 3rd grade. So from 3rd grade to 12th grade, we do a lot of different type of like underwater PE units at the school. And when it comes to breathwork, meditation, we start in pre-K, 3. So at 3 years old, we do a lot of exercises with kids, doing not only breathing, but we do a lot. We apply a lot of breathing exercises and speech therapy to develop vocal cord fluency when kids are starting to speak. and which also helps when it comes down to reading, yeah. So we start anywhere from pre-K 3 all the way up, and in the pool again from grade 3.
You have many schools that you work with?
We do a lot of work in Florida,
Okay.
mostly. We definitely would love to do more of that type of work here in California.
Yeah.
And we do it as consultant,
Yeah.
consultancy basis. So in general, like a lot of schools like to try as P units and then eventually bring it into the classroom. But it really depends on where the school is at, what programs are running, what the interests of the parents are too, and also the flexibility in their curriculum. For most private school, that tend to be easier because their funding is not attached to government funding, which is very limited when it comes to like their function is very focused on test scoring.
Yeah.
Where private education is a little more flexible with that.
Yeah.
And especially you have anything from Montessori curriculum all the way to like the IB, which allow to bring different way or untraditional ways of learning into the classroom.
Yeah. Let's talk about free diving.
Oh yeah.
Right? If free diving is that's something what you did enjoy doing the most?
I'm a free diver instructor. I definitely one of my biggest passions.
So what is free diving?
So free diving is basically being able to go underwater, to break it out, be able to go underwater with no tank or anything, just whatever the amount of air you can bring into your lungs, and then you can hold it underwater. So
what is okay, so if I'm breathing the air in, where's the air go?
So what you do is you by extending your lung capacity through either stretching and strengthening your diaphragm, you can inhale, let's say anywhere over 6 liters per minute to go underwater and hold your breath for as long as you can. And for some people it's about going very, very deep. So the free diving as a sport is about chasing a line up to 140 meters if you want to chase a world record.
Are you going down by using a line?
So you can either, depending on what discipline inside free diving, you can either do it by pulling a line or just by following a line.
Yeah.
And the line obviously is or has to be well marked, so you know what type of depth distance you're going after.
Yeah.
So that will be if you do as a sport. On the recreational side,
why would you free dive? Why would you not use a tank? It seems like it'd be.
Oh, the freedom that you get
really?
by not having so much equipment on top of you. Because if you think about all you need when you are free diving is a mask, a snorkel, here obviously a wetsuit, but in a lot of tropical locations, all you need is fins, mask, and a snorkel. So it's very, very, very cheap. And
here's my okay. Why do you free? What's the end result or the end game? To get as far as you can, or
for some people it is. For me, is the pleasure that I get from being freely underwater, interacting in nature. We live in one of the most beautiful locations on earth when it comes to like underwater life. I tend to do a lot of diving in Monterey more than in Santa Cruz, because Santa Cruz the water is a little bit murky.
Yeah.
But Monterey the water is crystal clear. It's like the Caribbean.
But colder.
Yeah, colder, but like crystal clear. There's a lot of life underwater, both the fauna that we find, the kelp beds are very, very rich. There's all sorts of almost every type of marine animal you can imagine. You can interact with closely in Monterey, and then of course the amount of like life that we will find around the structure areas on the rocks, all these different reefs that we have, make this place very, very unique. I think like
And you're alone. You're by yourself, right?
Yeah. I mean, like, you should always dive with a partner.
Okay.
That's for safety reasons. That's very important. But even when you are just you and your partner or a few friends in the water enjoying the underwater life, I mean, it's definitely a unique experience. I think like most people, once they try it once, they get hooked. Whether they do it with scuba, with the tank, or whether they do it free diving, definitely.
Yeah.
I
always think about Jay Moriarty, how when he passed. Remember,
yes,
Jay, right?
Yes.
How he passed away, but when they found him, he had a big smile on his face. Apparently, he had a big smile on his face. Maybe that's where he was supposed to.
Yes, there is a feeling of euphoria that you get for sure when you are free diving. It's very easy to get distracted for sure. Like. Just because you are in awe, so many times you find yourself in awe underwater.
Yeah. How far do you go? How far can you? What's the most?
So the deepest I've been is 50 meters.
50 meters.
Yes. And but it's hard because the water here is cold. If you want to train and go deep, most likely you need to travel to a warmer location where. You can really, really relax when you are on the water. Part of the biggest challenging on diving in colder water is the thermoclines. You have to go through thermoclines where the water drops generally like 5 to 10 degrees in 1 meter.
Yeah.
Very, very quickly, and it tends to affect your flow of relaxation. So the second you kind of like close your or like squeeze your face or something like that, then you kind of like lose the relaxation that you have, and that your focus, and losing that focus definitely shorten your ability to hold your breath and to dive deep. So that's why like it's hard to dive really deep here.
Yeah, you need a warmer climate.
You need a warmer climate.
Yes. You're into also foiling, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man,
that's something you enjoy.
Yes.
With paddle boards. I mean, I paddle surf. I paddle surf. I don't surf anymore. I just paddle surf. And I saw you using a paddle on a smaller board with a foil.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can do. There are definitely a few disciplines. You can do like toe foiling. You can do stand up foiling for surfing. You can also do downwind foiling, which is now big these days. So that's something that I'm trying to pick up in the last 2 years. Right now, most people, when they think about that, they think about people doing crossings in Hawaii from like Molokai to Oahu or Maui to Molokai or something like that. So it's basically like, and it's like surfing, catching an eternal wave, because what you do is you go from one bump to the next, and the whole time you're on the board, you're actually flying and surfing all over the place, and of course there's no crowd because you're in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
And there's something.
It must be an incredible feeling because you're up.
Yes.
You're up 2 feet up out of the water.
Yes, you are. Depending on the style of foil, you can definitely be pretty high up. And it's kind of like walking on a cloud or something, because you are above the surface. You don't have much friction with the water, and you are kind of like you're being propulsed forward with pretty fast, with a good amount of speed, like somewhere in like the 20 to 30 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So you are moving relatively fast. Foiling is quite an experience. The learning curve is a little bit steep.
Yeah.
So if you're looking into getting into a sport,
be patient.
Be patient. Yeah.
Right.
It's fun at the beginning. You might feel very frustrated, but it's just like it only takes you a few times where you get to fly for a few seconds to get hooked.
Yeah.
The second you get to that point, then for sure you're gonna put a lot of time to try to like figure it out. But it's one of those sports that it takes about, I'm gonna say, like 50 sessions before you actually can start becoming a little bit proficient at it. And that's coming if you are already like an athletic person.
Yeah. There's a few people here do it. There's a few people here to do it.
Oh no, tons of people.
Right.
You'll be surprised. if you go like out of town, there's a lot of people actually doing it. Like a lot of the kite surfer, windsurfers, they are getting into foiling. Some of them, they try. There's a wing, so they try the wing to use the wind to kind of like power themselves to catch speed to get up on the foil and fly. During the summer month, a lot of people from all over the world come to Santa Cruz now to actually downwind foil. But most of this gets done like
from up north, right?
Up north,
Waddell, whatever.
Yeah, Waddell, that area, farther north. And you know the beautiful thing about foiling is like you do it in the middle of the ocean, so it's like you're not buying anywhere.
Right.
That's the one part that I think like for people that love the ocean and like these sorts of adventure sports, downwind foiling I think like provides a lot of that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go back to the apnea training, right?
Yeah.
So you start off pretty slow. You put the thing with the thing that you in the middle of the pool with the what do you call it?
Oh, carabiner. We have carabiners and either knots or locks that we put in.
Yeah, unbelievable. Where you push-ups before and swimming laps before. You have to go down and take that undo that knot from the carabiner in the middle of the pool. It's very difficult.
Yes, you know,
challenging.
It's like a you know, it's a mental. You know, what I try to do in every class is to never make. I try never to make two classes the same.
Yeah.
So even though I have a good group or plethora of exercise, I love to combine them to sometimes push it physically and sometimes push it mentally.
Yeah.
You know, putting games and challenges in the middle of the pool underwater is it's crazy how it makes your mind spin and take it out of focus. We see a lot of people that can hold their breath for long periods of time in the class, and then all of a sudden you have them to walk half the length of a pool, sit down, and unlock a knot and a few carabiners, and their head just go crazy, and like they come out and they're like, oh my god, I could not do it. And it have nothing to do with their ability to hold their breath. It have everything to do with like emotional control and organizing your thoughts, and not necessarily really panicking over a situation that it kind of like is throwing you off or giving you a spin on what you were expecting from the normal class. So
you got to get a hold of your mind. You have to get a hold of yourself. You have to get a hold of your mind and go, stop thinking. You can do this, right?
Yes.
Stop. You can do this. And your mind's going, It's a challenge.
And you know,
but if you're successful, the end game is like, oh my god, I did that. You know.
Yeah, unblocking it makes it very rewarding. And so the interesting thing is like it's funny because there's people in the class who had told me after classes like, hey, like it's crazy because finding these ways to come down when I have these challenges underwater or these games underwater allow me to handle better anxiety, panic, anger in my regular life. What they tell me is that they had learned that through these sorts of exercises and training, like when they get a little bit of something thrown out there in their regular life, they kind of like had learned to slow down, think, and really not overreact.
Instead of reacting like
instead of snapping.
Yeah.
More than reacting, snapping. Like because that tends to be the thing, and we see it. There's people that will throw the way or like throw it away and come up and and no reason for it because they're more than capable to do the task. So we try to spice it up, whether it's locks, knots, carabiner, playing rock, paper, scissors. So we have people like just sitting down and play rock, paper, scissors. And we even today we did first on the warm up we do kind of like only whoever win one game, then we did like best out of 3, and then
Yeah.
we did best out of 5.
Yeah.
So you are holding your breath there for longer periods of time, but at the same time you're having fun, and you are required to multitask because you hold your breath, you're trying to keep yourself calm, but at the same time you're playing the games,
Yeah.
or you're doing the task that is required to do
Very
on the water.
interesting.
So.
People want to check out the class, they can go online, right?
Yes.
What do you have? You go.
So the schedule. So we generally train in the morning at the high school swimming pool.
Yeah.
The schedule come out every week. It really differs from week to week because we share the pool with the master swimming plus
and water polo.
the water polo and the swimming team.
Yeah.
So what we do is you can come to our website, which is Apex Peak Performance Coaching, or our Instagram at Apex PPC.
Yeah.
And on a weekly basis we post the schedule. We also do land classes. We tend to do every 2 weeks. We tend to do a class every 2 weeks where we do breathwork classes on land, and we take opportunity in those classes to teach people different methods and training methods that they can do at home on regular basis, whether it's stretching, CO2 table, or diaphragmatic exercises. And then I try to do a free diving class every 6 weeks. So whether it's a level 1 for beginner or level 2 for intermediate, advanced. The advanced I tend to do more in the summer because the water's a little bit warmer.
Yeah.
But yeah, every 6 weeks we do free diving classes, and sometimes I will also do on request spearfishing lessons.
Very, very cool. So Apex
Peak Performance Coaching. Yes.
On is that Facebook?
On Facebook, yes.
And then Instagram is
Instagram Apex PPC.
Okay. And then I always post the schedule up on the Update Radio Show, so you can check that out. You can go to my Facebook page. I'll have the schedule on there. Hey, Ricardo, thanks for the interview, buddy.
No, thank you, and thank you for the support.
And all you do, you change people's lives, and it's very, very cool.
No, thank you.